Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Riaz Hussain and title of today's lecture is Construction of Phase Diagram, or we can say construction of equilibrium diagram. This is our lecture number 36 from the course Applied Chemistry. Key concepts. Following concepts will be discussed in detail in this lecture. First of all, we will discuss phase diagram or equilibrium diagram. We will discuss what is phase diagram or what is equilibrium diagram. Then we will discuss phase rule, on the basis of which phase diagram or equilibrium diagram is established. Phase rule consists of different terminologies. These terminologies are phase, component and degree of freedom. We will discuss in detail what are phases and how we can calculate the number of phases of the system. After this, we will discuss what are components and how can we calculate the components of a given system. Then we will find degree of freedom. After this, we will discuss phase diagram of a one component system. Then we will discuss details curves of the univariant system. I mean, the phase diagram consists of one component system. That diagram will consist of various curves. We will discuss each curve in detail. Phase diagram. A diagram which describes the conditions of equilibrium between various forms or phases of a substance is called a phase diagram or equilibrium diagram. Phase diagram is actually a graph which is plotted between variant of a system. Here the graph shown is the graph drawn between pressure and temperature. Temperature is taken on x-axis and pressure is taken on y-axis. The phase diagram consists of three lines. This is the one line, this is the second line, and this is the third line. The three lines are joining each other at this point. This point is the common of these three lines. This point is called triple point. Triple point is the point where three phases of a matter, or we can say three phases of a substance, coexist, or we can say three phases are in equilibrium at this point. The point at which three phases of a system or a matter exist at equilibrium is called triple point. This side shows the solid phase, this shows the liquid phase, this is the line which is dividing, which is separating the liquid from the solid phase. The matter on this line is in equilibrium. There is equilibrium between liquid and solid phase over this line. This area shows the liquid state of the matter and this area shows the gaseous state of the matter. The end of this line, the line which is separating the liquid phase from the gaseous phase, the end of this line is called critical point. The phase of the matter beyond this point will be called supercritical fluid. Supercritical fluid is a state of matter in which gaseous gaseous phase and liquid phase are indistinguishable. The one cannot differentiate the liquid and gaseous phase beyond this point. Triple point, the combination of the temperature and the pressure at which the three phases, which are gaseous phase, liquid phase and a solid phase of a substance, coexist in thermodynamic equilibrium is called a triple point. The point in the phase diagram where the three curves meet with each other is called a triple point. Every substance, every matter has its own triple point, has its fixed triple point. Critical point, a point on a phase diagram at which both the liquid and gaseous phase of a substance have the same density and both phases are indistinguishable, is called a critical point. The pressure condition and the temperature condition at this point are called critical temperature and critical pressure. If I draw a horizontal line, so not a horizontal, vertical line from this point, which that vertical meet the x-axis, I mean temperature axis over here. The temperature, the line drawn from the critical point which cuts the temperature axis, the temperature at that point is called critical temperature. And similarly, the horizontal line drawn from the critical point which meets the y-axis, I mean the pressure axis, the pressure at that point is called critical pressure. Critical temperature of a substance is the temperature at and above which vapor of the substance cannot be liquefied, no matter how the pressure is applied. Critical temperature is that temperature at and above which vapor of the substance cannot be liquefied. The temperature at which vapor phase cannot be liquefied. How much pressure is applied. Every substance has its own critical temperature, e.g., critical temperature of water is 374 degree centigrade. Critical pressure of a substance is the pressure required to liquefy a gas at its critical temperature. The critical pressure of water is 217.7 atmospheric pressure. This is all about the phase diagram. The curves which present in this phase diagram will be discussed in detail in the next slides. Phase rule. Phase rule was first established by J.W. Gibbs in 1874. It's a general relationship between the variance, the components and the phases present at equilibrium. This rule was established by J.W. Gibbs in 1874. That's why it's called Gibbs rule, or we can say it's called phase rule. This rule describes the relationship between variance, number of components and the number of phases present at equilibrium. So its formula is F is equal to C minus P plus 2, or some books shows the phase rule formula is like this: F plus P is equal to C plus 2. Both are the same thing. F shows the variance, C shows the number of components, and P shows the number of phases at equilibrium. Here 2 is for the intensive variable, which are temperature and pressure. F shows the variance. phase rule is used to study the heterogeneous system consisting of two or more phases in equilibrium. J.W. Gibbs gave a very important generalization rule which is called Gibbs phase rule, or simply Gibbs rule, or simply called phase rule. For a heterogeneous system in equilibrium at a definite temperature and pressure, the number of degree of freedom is greater than the difference in the number of component and the number of phases by 2, provided the equilibrium is not influenced by external effects such as gravity, electrical or magnetic force, as well as surface tension. The formula of the Gibbs rule, or we can say the formula of the phase rule, is F is equal to C minus P plus 2, where F degree of freedom, or we can say variant, C number of components of a system, P number of phases of a system present at the equilibrium, and the number of by 2. This is the fixed quantity and shows the variable, which are mostly the temperature and the pressure. Terminologies involved in Gibbs phase rule. What is phase? Phase is defined as a homogeneous, physically distinct and mechanically separable portion of a system which is separated from other such parts of the system by definite boundary surface. Some examples of some phases are solid, liquid and vapor phase of a substance. The substance exists in 3 phases, which are solid, liquid and gaseous phase. E.g. water. Water in the liquid form exists as a is called liquid phase. Water in the ice form, it's a solid form, so that is the solid phase. And water in the gaseous form or in the steam form is called gaseous phase. What is phase? We can define the phase like this. A phase is defined as part of the system which is physically and chemically uniform throughout. There are many definitions to describe the phase. You can learn all of these, or you can learn one of them, any one of them. Or phase can be defined as any homogeneous and physically distinct part of the system which is bounded by a surface and is mechanically separable from the other part of the system is called a phase. And this is very good definition which is short but describe all the parameters of the phases and covers all the points which are required to describe the definition of a phase. What is phase? Any homogeneous and physically distinct part of the system which is bounded by a surface and is mechanically separable from the other part of the system is called a phase. Examples: NaCl plus water. When a sodium chloride is dissolved in water, as a result, a homogeneous solution is formed. Sodium chloride is present in the solid phase and water is present in the liquid phase. When sodium chloride is added into the water, then a homogeneous solution of sodium chloride is formed, which have throughout same and uniform composition and same and uniform shape throughout the bulk. So it's a one phase system, and that phase of the system is called liquid phase. See, the solution contains two components. One constituent of the solution is the one component of the solution is the sodium chloride, and the other itself is the water, that is solvent. So when sodium chloride get dissolved in water and there is no solid NaCl remaining in the bottom of the beaker, then the solution have a uniform composition, uniform shape throughout the bulk, and it shows it is present in the liquid phase. So this is one phase system. Gaseous mixture is a one phase system also, because all the gases are miscible with each other. The one gas cannot be separated from the other gas. The gases in the mixture are not separable from each other. So the mixture contains many components, but all the components exist in the same phase, that is gaseous phase. So it's a one phase system. Water plus alcohol, both are when water and alcohol are separate, they are present in liquid state, but when water is added to the alcohol, both are miscible with each other because both solvents are polar in nature. As a result, one phase system which have uniform composition throughout is developed. So water and alcohol is also a one phase system, that is a liquid phase. CCl4 and water, carbon tetrachloride, or we can say tetrachloromethane in water, are immiscible and forms two phases of a system. So this is a two phase system because the two components are not miscible with each other. The CCl4 is organic solvent and water is an inorganic. So the CCl4 is not soluble in water. So this is the mixture of the immiscible. So we can see the two phases in the mixture, the CCl4 organic phase, and that is also the liquid phase, and the other one is the water aqueous phase. So it's a two different liquid phases. The system contains two different liquid phases. Mixture of graphite and diamond. Graphite and diamond both exist in the solid form. So the crystal structure of the graphite is different from the diamond structure. So when the two graphite and diamond are mixed with each other, then we can clearly see the particles of the graphite as well as particle of the diamond, because the structure diamond and the crystal structure of diamond and crystal structure of graphite are not miscible with each other. So it's a two solid phase system. So the mixture of diamond with graphite is a two phase system. So after we have described what is a phase and how can we guess that it's a one phase system or a two phase system. So when we saw the name of the components, then we can guess that it's a mixture of the two components or three component substances is a one phase system or the two phase system or the three phase system. Components. The other terminology which was present in the Gibbs phase rule is the component, which is denoted by C. The formula of which we have seen in the previous slide is F is equal to C minus P plus 2. The P shows the phase, which we have discussed in the previous slide, and the C present in the Gibbs formula shows the components. The components are defined as the least number of chemical constituents. The least number of constituents of a system by means of which the composition of each phase can be expressed in the form of an equation. The water system, for example, consists of one component because water can exist in three phases. That's a liquid phase, that's a solid phase, ice form, and the gaseous phase. But the formula of the gaseous water, solid water, and the liquid water is the H2O. So the component is single. The system contains one chemical species, that is the water. The same water exists in the liquid phase as well as in the solid phase as well as in the gaseous phase. So it's a one component system. The composition of each of three phases can be expressed in terms of component water, so it's a one component system. So water, the one chemical substance, can exist in more than one phases. Components can also be defined as, it is defined as the minimum number of independent chemical species necessary to describe the composition of each and every phase of the system in equilibrium. So this is another definition of the components. Hope you understand how can we describe the component. Example, see this one, water vapor, it's a gaseous phase. Ice solid, it's a solid phase of the water. Water liquid, it's a liquid phase of the water. In these three phases, the same chemical species is present, which is the water. So it's a one component system. As all these three phases contain only one chemical species, that is a water. So it is a one component three phase system. So the chemical species which exists in three phases is the same, that is the water. So the component of the system is one and the phases of this system is three. Another example, NaCl plus water forms completely miscible solution. When the sodium chloride is added into the water, then a solution of sodium chloride is formed. There is no solid sodium chloride remaining in the bottom of the beaker. So all the sodium chloride get dissolved in the water. So we have a homogeneous solution which have a uniform composition throughout the bulk. So the phase is the liquid phase because the solution is present in the liquid form, so it contains one phase. But that phase contains two components. The one component is the water and the other component present in the solution is the NaCl. So we can say it's a two component one phase system. Because we have specified the phase, we are observing the components in one phase, that is the liquid phase. So that liquid phase specifically at that temperature condition, at that pressure condition, contain two components. One is the sodium chloride and the other one is the water itself. So solution of sodium chloride in water is a two component one phase system. In case of chemically reactive system, so we have some system which are chemically reactive. I mean, can show the decomposition reaction. I mean the chemically reactive species. If the species under observation is a chemically reactive species, is a chemically reactive system, then number of components can be determined by the following relation. C is equal to S minus R. C components, number of components, S number of chemical species present in the system. We will see how much number of chemical species present in the system, and R number of independent chemical relations, I mean the reactions through which those chemical species are formed. Either these species are formed through one reaction or one-step reaction or the two-step reaction. If it's a one-step reaction, then the value of R will be 1. If it's a two-step reaction, I mean the reaction completes two steps, then the value of R will be 2. Examples. Consider a system consisting of a following species, PCl5. This is the reaction of the decomposition of PCl5. When the PCl5 is decomposed, then it gives us two components. One is the PCl3 and the other one is the Cl2. It's a decomposition reaction. So thus here S number of species present in the system are 3. One is the PCl5, the other one is the PCl3 and the third one is the Cl2. And the R is equal to 1 because the chemical reactions which occur during the conversion of PCl5 to PCl3 is a 1. So the formation of PCl3 occur in a one step. So the value of R is equal to 1. Put the value of R and S into the equation. C is equal to S minus R. The value of S means number of species present in the system as a result of reaction. The one is PCl5, the other one is the PCl3, the third one is the Cl2. So these three components will be present in the system at equilibrium stage. So the value of C is equal to 2. So the number of components present in the system will be 2. So we can say the decomposition of a PCl5 into PCl3 and Cl2, apparently it is shown that the system contains three species. One is the chlorine Cl2, the other one is the PCl3, and the third one is the PCl5. Apparently the three species are present in the system, but when the values of the S and R is put in the equation, then the answer is the 2. So we can say that its decomposition of PCl5 into PCl3 and Cl2 is a two component system. Consider thermal decomposition of CaCO3 in a sealed tube. CaCO3 upon decomposition gives us calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Again, the number of components present in the system are 3. One is the CaCO3, the other one is the CO, and the third one is the CO2. And the decomposition of CaCO3 completes in one step, so the value of R will be 1. Putting these values of S and R into the equation, then we again obtain the value of C is equal to 2. So we can say the decomposition of calcium carbonate is also a two-phase, two-component system. Calculations of number of components in ionic system. See the ionic system, the system which contains sodium chloride, potassium bromide and water. So sodium chloride upon decomposition gives us sodium ion and chloride ion. Potassium bromide upon decomposition, upon ionization, gives us potassium ion and bromide ion. When the ionic compound is dissolved in water, then ionic compound dissociates into its ions. Similarly, sodium ion of the sodium chloride may react with bromide ion to produce sodium bromide, and similarly potassium ion may react with Cl to give us potassium chloride. So we can say it's a double displacement reaction. Therefore, there are 9 species in the above system. The system, ionic system, which consists of sodium chloride, potassium bromide and water, is a system which contains 9 species. See, one is the NaCl, the other one is the KBr, the third one is the H2O, the fourth one is the NaBr, the sixth one is the potassium chloride, the seventh one is the potassium ion. See this one, the name of species over here: NaCl, KCl, NaBr, KBr, sodium ion, chloride ion, potassium ion, bromide ion and water ion. This system contains 9 species. So how can we calculate the value of C? C is equal to S minus R plus 1. When the system is the ionic system, then the value of C can be determined by this formula. This is the modified formula. So here S, the system containing 9 species, and these 9 species are produced in a 4 chemical reactions. This is the 4, so the value of R is 4 plus 1, 5, 9 minus 5 is equal to 4. So we can say it's the sodium chloride, potassium bromide, water system is a 4 component system. Degree of freedom. It is defined as the least number of variable factors of a system, such as temperature, pressure and concentration, which must be specified so that the remaining variables are fixed automatically and the system is completely defined. System possessing 1, 2, 3, etc. degree of freedom are said to be univariant, bivariant, as well as trivariant system respectively. Assignments. Calculate the degree of freedom of a system containing sodium chloride and water in liquid state. It means sodium chloride is dissolved in water and there is no NaCl remaining in the bottom. So this is a one phase system. So you have to apply the Gibbs phase rule equation, that is F is equal to C minus P plus 2. Okay, thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.